Do you want to be able to write excellent essays the easy way? Well, I have very good news for you. In this video, I'm going to help you eliminate your stress and show you proven, easy to apply strategies that will completely transform the entire process for you. In fact, there are two gigantic tactics I want you to take away from this lesson. Hi, Matt DeMayo here. Welcome to my channel, Be Smarter Faster. Be sure to hit that like button if this video is helpful to you, and subscribe with notifications on so you're alerted whenever I release a new educational resource. Be sure to stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to show you a strategy called the sticky pad party, and you don't want to miss that. You know, for many students, writing an essay is one of the hardest things they ever face. You have some exams that require essay-style answers. There are AP essays. You're required to write them in any number of subjects: history, philosophy, literature, ethics, religion, psychology, and more. When you apply to college, you're judged on the quality of the essay you submit. This is a tremendously important skill, but one that makes some people so upset. I often hear of people becoming physically ill when they're faced with doing them. It literally makes them sick to their stomach. This is not just a problem for students in school either. In many types of work, you must be able to submit reports or do written analysis or write a critique of a situation, a product, service, or a vendor. So, with the obvious importance of this skill, why is there so little good instruction on simple ways to do it? Why is writing an essay so hard for so many people? The level of frustration you have with the actual writing process itself is a big part of the problem. It's like you have a log jam going on inside of your brain. You have all of these conflicting thoughts that seem to happen rapid fire. Things get stuck inside your head and you can't express them. Well, I'm going to reveal what is causing that problem and then show you simple ways to overcome it. Here we go. First step. Before you do anything, you must begin with a clear theme. Determine what you want to be the point of your essay. Sometimes that will be assigned to you. Other times you'll be able to choose your own topics. Now, don't minimize this idea or treat it lightly. You see, you may think you know what your theme is until you attempt writing it out. Get crystal clear on the main point you intend to make. Like I said, write it out. Make it concrete. Don't just keep it in your head. The more clearly you define your target, the easier it will be to hit. Think of it this way. If I put you in a dark room with a handful of darts and told you there was a target somewhere in that room, the chances of you throwing the dart and hitting a bullseye are near zero. However, with the lights on, you can clearly see the target, you can position yourself, take careful aim, and even if you can't hit the bullseye right away, you'll at least be far closer than when all the lights were off. It's the same thing here. Define your target. Next, and this is huge, understanding this will eliminate the majority of your problems. Don't mix composing with editing. Let me say that again. Don't mix the process of creating or composing with the process of editing. Here's what happens. You begin to write something, and then you get stuck as to what point comes next, or you get lost in thinking about all the additional points you want to make, or you get stuck trying to decide on a particular word or a phrase to use. Sound familiar? You wind up in kind of a mental feedback loop. All the thoughts seem to come at once, and it actually stops you from being able to put anything down on the page. Like I said, your mind gets log jammed with conflicting information. And that's because you're attempting to mix together two different processes that are in some ways the opposite of each other. When you separate these processes, you'll clear the logjam. Composing is an additive process. You're creating your main points and laying out your positions on that topic. Editing is a subtractive process. This is where you're putting your content into the right order, you're fine-tuning the words or sentence structure, or correct grammar that you want to use. When you try to compose and edit at the same time, you defeat yourself. It's no wonder your brain overloads and your writing circuits get fried. Here's how to go about getting unstuck. First, before you begin writing paragraphs or full sentences, in random order, write down the points you want to include. Do not try and think of them in order just yet. Just collect them. Often, you'll find that one thought will lead you to another, and that way you can start anywhere in the mental process. Once you've got your list of the points you want to cover, then number them in the order you want to discuss them. Begin wherever you can. Don't worry about coming up with the perfect opening just yet. You can come back to that and do that later. You'll be surprised at just how much easier it'll be once you've got the big points all in place. Like I said, do the easy parts first. Assemble your big chunks of information. Put them in the order you want to cover them. And now begin to create full sentences. Organize it into paragraphs. Keep your theme ideas in mind. Focus on staying on point. Don't get off topic. When you write, don't worry about grammar. You can come back and fix it later. Don't worry about adjectives. If there's a word you can't think of, leave a blank space for it. Come back to it later. You can also underline a word that you're maybe using too many times. Or if you're on a computer, put that word in red and then come back to it later. Have your thesaurus open. I often use thesaurus.com. It's become an indispensable tool for me. Use a thesaurus instead of a dictionary because it'll give you many additional ideas for how to express a thought. And you'll see plenty of alternative words you can use for helping you make your point without repeating the same word over and over. Okay, for a quick moment, let me address essay tests, because time is really an important factor there. Before you begin writing anything, decide which of the essay questions will be easiest for you to answer. If you've got scratch paper, or if you're using a word processing program, then jot the key points you want to make down on the margin. If you're using a test book, put those notes in the margin. Once you've got listed out all the points you want to make in random order, then quickly go back, number them in the order that you want to present them, and now write out your answer. This will make your essay answers clear and logical for when they get graded. All right, look, we've covered a lot here, and you've made it this far, so let me keep that promise I made to you at the very beginning. Here's something called the sticky pad party. I recommend you use this strategy for the really big, important essays you've got to write. For example, the one for your college acceptance application, or doing your thesis for an advanced degree, writing your dissertation, which can be thought of as one really long, very detailed essay. Or you may have a report for work where a promotion or a big contract is on the line. You're going to need three things: a whole bunch of sticky pads, a pen that allows you to write really easily — I like those new gel pens personally — and a great big blank wall. Begin writing individual points, one on each page of your sticky pad. Once you've got an idea written down, post it on the blank wall. Don't worry about putting anything in order just yet. You're going to do this in a stream of consciousness sort of way. One idea per note. What you want to do is get into the mental flow state. Write an idea on a sticky pad, stick it anywhere on the wall, and keep going for as long as you can. Then, when it's time to take your first break, Go to your wall, collect the notes into groups. Arrange them in sections on your wall. Add more ideas to your wall until you have what seems to be a really complete theme. Then, take your notes from each section, stick them to each other in separate little piles. You can then arrange each of the ideas from your individual notes into an order that makes sense to you. You may need to go back to the wall with each little pile of related ideas and add to them. Doing this process helps you to visualize the whole process. It breaks down what seems to be an overwhelming assignment into little bite-sized pieces. Sometimes it's called elephant eating. How do you eat an elephant? Same way you eat a chicken or a potato, one bite at a time. In conclusion, there are two gigantic tactics that you should take away from this lesson. First, before you begin writing, establish and define a crystal clear theme. Remember, it's unlikely to hit a target that you can't see clearly. Secondly, keep the process of composing and editing separate from each other. Start wherever you can and with whatever random ideas occur to you. Go back and then put them in order. Then go back again and create sentences and paragraphs. Once your big ideas are created, then go back again and do your edits. Do your fine-tuning to select the perfect words or phrases. That's where you're going to find more colorful adjectives and descriptive words with your thesaurus. Correct your grammar, correct your spelling. You'll find that taking this type of approach will save you a massive amount of time, especially compared to all of the time you procrastinate or you waste putting it off and avoiding it, or staring at a blank screen or a blank sheet of paper. It will also eliminate all your stress and frustration about how to write an excellent essay, because now you've got an easy system that works. Again, if this video has been helpful, please be sure to give it a like, share it on social media, and post a comment. This is Matt DeMeo, reminding you that everything I teach does take just a little bit of work and effort, but I promise you it's worth it. Always remember that the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom. I'll look forward to having you join me on my other videos.